You slimed me. I'm playing the Kingdom of Hearts. Yep. Okay. Okay. Would that be okay with mom? It's not a movie, it's an actual game. And obviously, there's going to be like so many cutscenes. It's like an RPG. They're like, bring out the cutscenes. It's a Square Enix RPG. Yep. Square Enix. Cutscene!
What?
Oh. A Disney cutscene.
Gosh.
Square Enix. Mhm. Well, listen to mommy. This is not. This is like an intro to the game. I mean, as we continue playing throughout the games, like it's newer and newer gens, newer graphics. It's sweet. It's pretty. And like classic Final Fantasy has a great score. I mean, Square Enix, Kingdom Hearts. Squaresoft. After this. Yep. Remember that fight? You beat him down in a second. This is Birth of Sleep reference right here. Oh no? Huh. I guess it must be all for this game. I thought it would be Birth of Sleep. Well, Goosebumps. Goosebumps. This is it. This is the experience. Oh, watercolor.
Water.
Proud no. Yeah, sometimes my processing doesn't work very well with what people are saying.
Hey! Is this how you wanted it? Xehanort! You want to fill me in?
I am.
Hey! Do you remember now, or... Wait. Did you never lose your memory?
That's not my name. I'm not Xehanort.
What?
This is when he take. This is not me. This is when he turned everyone into
My name is Ansem.
It's when Ansem, like, they became Organization 13 without a heart.
But how far could a raft take us?
Who knows? If we have to, we'll think of something else.
No, this is the very beginning. It's like where they're talking about doing a raft. And it's like combining it, like, kind of like... That was
Riku,
like...
a storm's coming.
I know. The waves are getting steep. Furl the sail.
Right.
Oh wait, this is the I don't know when this is. Or might be a
Riku!
dream.
I'm fine. What's that?
It's Percy Lady.
Right. Those wretched guppies are here. Well, it's about time we settled the
Little
score.
Mermaid.
Ursula! But how... Is this the test?
Come on. You can work it out later.
All right.
Sorry, dearies, but I won't fall for that trick.
I should be able to, unless they change combat.
You dare toy with me, you insignificant fool! Yeah. What?
Hey!
Yeah. Ha. Ha.
Yeah! Hey! Ha! Yeah!
Time for my revenge.
Freeze!
Fine.
Yeah! 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 Hey!
Yeah.
Fine! Ha!
Like, I thought I could hit left and right bumper to...
Ha!
To the depths with you.
Ha!
Time for my revenge.
Freeze! Fine! Yeah! Ah!
Right there.
Hey! Ha! Hey! Ha! Yeah! Ha! Oh! Freeze! Fine! Ha! Hey! Ha! Hey! Ha!
Oh. There we go.
Freeze! Fine! Yeah!
Time for my revenge.
Ha! Yeah! 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 Hey! 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 Ha! Freeze!
Yep, we just beat her again. Ursula went down. Oh, look, his more actually looks like a key now.
This world has been connected.
Back.
As a Keyblade master, Xehanort had a gift like few others. But such great minds are often plagued by a single great question. What is the essence of the human heart that weakens us or empowers us? The answer, he believed, would be found in the Keyblade War. What if the challenges of our past were in fact a map to the light and darkness that battles within us all? Xehanort had to know, so he renounced his duties as master and chose the
I forgot his
Seeker's
name.
life. Since then, in many a guise, he has clashed with protectors of the light, Keyblade wielders like yourselves. And mark my words, he will trouble us yet again. We must be ready. Which is why you, Sora and Riku, are to be tested for the mark of a true Keyblade master. No doubt you fancy yourselves masters already, but it takes years of training. Only a true master can teach you the proper way.
Mika.
Both of you are self-taught Keyblade wielders. An impressive feat. However, the time has come for you to let go of preconceived notions, forget what you know about the Keyblade, and begin your training again with a clean slate.
Huh? But that's a formality, right? I already proved myself. Me and the King and Riku, we can take on anything. Right, Riku?
I don't know. I think that in my heart, darkness still has a hold. Walking that path changed me. I'm not sure if I'm ready to wield a Keyblade. Maybe I do need to be tested.
Riku. Then count me in. Put me through the test. Just watch. Me and Riku will pass with flying colors.
Very well then. Sora and Riku, let your examination begin.
Oh, I see. So that's a special right there.
Faster! Fire! Ha! Ha!
Grab what I can. Completed it. I think it will. I think they'll know that that won't be okay.
Huh? This is... Traverse Town. Hey, what's with my clothes? Must be more of Master Yen Sid's magic.
I guess that's his name. Pretty.
Look, what happened to Riku? Riku! Hello? Riku!
Shut it.
Huh?
Talk about noise.
Ah!
Sora, right?
Yeah, but, how do you know that?
Looks like you're not a player.
A player?
Come on, keep up. In the game. Players get marked with the time limit. And this game, I can't afford to lose. I need my game partner.
Okay. I don't know about this game, but can I
We
help?
just met him.
What? Time out. Do you trust every total stranger you meet? Look,
I don't know who that is.
sorry. You're no good. You're not
I don't. Bailey, they haven't told us his name.
a player. And my pack's with someone else.
Okay, so we can't be partners. Why don't I just help you out as your friend?
Now we're friends? It's not that easy.
Not saying it is, but you could make it easier.
Yeah, sounds great. Whatever.
Cool. Lead the way. Whoa.
Zoom in. It's like they're introducing us whole new systems. Which lets you use your environment to its fullest.
Oh. Ha!
Bread,
Yeah.
bread.
Yeah! Ha!
There you go.
Yeah! Ha!
Cool.
Ha! Oh.
Billy, please.
Ha!
And no matter what, though, we gotta do the reading.
Yeah!
Okay, so it is now. Oh, that's cool. You know, I'm always down if you want to send it to me, friend. But at this very moment, I am not in a place to actually be able to buy anything. We're moving overseas, so we're saving all our, we're using all our stuff towards items like that. Don't know. I don't know. We don't know where he's at. He's trying to find him. We're trying to find Riku. An interesting new addition to it. I wonder.
Freeze!
Okay. In the previous game, you could actually unlock something by lighting all the candles, but I guess that's not a thing in this. Huh. I don't think you could visit the peel from before. That's fun. That's pretty. Sure, whatever reality shift is. Press Y and B. Huh. If I could blow up that. Let's bring it over here. Just seeing if The Moek use it against a bunch of enemies or something.
Hey, I didn't catch your name.
Dream Eaters.
That's a weird name.
Not me. Them.
Right, I knew that.
Don't let them surround us. Let's split up.
Got it.
Oh, it's Neku.
Huh?
Neku Sakuraba. You asked.
Neku Sakuraba. That's a mouthful.
No, I mean,
it's really not.
this game is made in Japan.
Come on, Neku. Let's take
Yeah. Pretty much, like anime or in the video games, a lot of them are made in Japan. Especially things like Sony. Sony is based from Japan.
Hey! Oh, oh. Ha ha! Ha ha! Oh,
Yeah.
there! Oh, there! Oh, come on! Oh, come on! Yeah, yeah! Oh, come on! Ha! Come on!
Slow motion tutorial complete.
These things with you. They're Dream Eaters too?
Yeah. If I'm gonna survive the game, I'm gonna need some extra help. Think you could control them?
Sure. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
If we are ever to strike down Xehanort, we need the individuals King Mickey spoke of in his letter. We must lead them out of Soft. And slumber, and back to our world. To do so, 7 sleeping keyholes must be found and unlocked, and
7
a
sleeping
great power retrieved. As you know, every world is walled off from the next, preventing travel between them. In the past, you could bridge these gaps because the walls were broken, or because you could open special lanes with your keyblades. But your new goals, the sleeping keyholes, are harder to reach. You'll recall in your first journey that you brought many worlds back from the darkness. But some never returned completely. They still sleep, cut off from all outside channels. Not even the Heartless can enter. But these sleeping worlds are said to have their own manner of darkness. They are called Dream Eaters. And there are 2 kinds. Nightmares, which devour happy dreams. And benevolent spirits, which consume the nightmares. The Dream Eaters will guide you, just as the Heartless once guided you to the keyhole you seek at the heart of each world.
It's definitely more of a pig thing. It's like a puggle pig thing. Yeah. Cat or dog, boy or girl, friend or friend or foe, friend or fiend. Jimmy is adorable. Warning: fire freaks it out. Great spirit with it. Fire level. Did mom? I thought mom said no. Okay. Hey.
Oh crap, here. I want to help you play.
Nothing you can really do, B.
Oh,
Hey.
little puppy.
What should we name this spirit? Already is named Meow Wow. Do you want to change it?
I want to change it to I want to change it to Starger.
Stargirl? Okay. Yeah?
I think I'm gonna call her Rockstar. I think I'm gonna call her Rockstar.
Rockstar? Okay. Well, she can name this one. You can name the next one, okay? I did ask her first. I didn't know you wanted to name it. Okay.
Rockstar.
Most likely, I'm going to sacrifice this to the beast anyways, because it looks like a weak spirit.
Rockstar. The Rockstar.
So, yeah. So there you go. Rockstar is its name, okay?
Rock.
Yeah. I think that's enter. Looks like you and Rockstars are off to a great start. Say hello to your new spirits. Spirits will help you in combat. Give them lots of TLC to increase your affinity and you'll be duly rewarded. Buying lots of spirits or buying with them will earn the link point.
And I want to help you move.
Alright, B. Here, press A to pet it. If you get stuck, press bring up the help screen. Okay? Hit A. Hit A. Oh, so give us commands. So we gotta hit right bumper. Hit A to poke. Hold A and left to pet. Huh? You wanna read? Alright. Alright, Bailey, Broheim and I are gonna read now. You wanna be on my lap while I read? No? Okay. Oh. Okay. I'm loving this too much. It's Tokyo! Tokyo! I'm trying. Alright.
My Pikachu!
Alright.
Just like Pikachu. So cute. It's like
I I can't right now. I have to change things. Right now my Windows button is... Just mute it. There we go. Okay. Well, it's like, here we go. And then... And Lagast. I'm willing to be flexible though, since you are, since we had such an awesome long adventure that you could have one Bible project card. But so we have to do before next allotment, since you decided to make a long form agreement to 2 sections where you have to do 3 sections. So for one of those sections, you can use the Bible project card if you want to. You want to do Bible project first or Lagos first? Hmm. Okay. There we go. I forgot where Windows G was so that I can unmute it, but still have Kingdom Hearts muted. We're on New Testament for everyone. Okay, we done Luke. We've done all Luke. We've done John. We've done Acts. I think we're on the second part of Acts. What do you think? Yes.
The Book of Acts. In the first video, we watched Luke open the book by showing us how the risen Jesus was exalted as the King of the world. He promised to send the Holy Spirit as his own personal presence to empower his followers to go out into the world and bear witness to the good news about his kingdom until he would return one day. And so the movement began in Jerusalem as the Spirit came and formed Jesus' followers into the new temple promised by the scriptural prophets. But this generated conflict with the leaders of Jerusalem, and so it led to the persecution of the Christians. But the Spirit transformed it into good. It actually became the means by which the originally Jewish Jesus communities were pushed outside Jerusalem to become a multi-ethnic international movement. And the flagship church of this diverse Jesus movement was in Antioch, the largest city in that part of the Roman Empire. So we left the story with Barnabas and Paul serving in the Antioch church, and the Spirit prompts the church to send them on a missionary journey, which opens up a whole new section of the book. The story's about Paul and his co-workers traveling to different cities around the Roman Empire, announcing the good news that Jesus is king. The first mission is into the interior of what's called Asia Minor, found in modern Turkey, and it ends with an important meeting of the apostles back in Jerusalem. The second mission is through Asia Minor and then into ancient Greece. And then the third mission is through that same territory again, and it concludes with Paul's journey all the way back to Jerusalem. Now, in recounting all these stories, Luke has highlighted a number of important themes by repeating them. So first is the continued mission to Israel. Whenever Paul enters a new city, he always goes first to the Jewish synagogue to share about the risen King Jesus and how he's forming a new multi-ethnic family of God. Now, most often, lots of people come to recognize Jesus as the Messiah, but some oppose Paul. Sometimes they even throw him out of town as a dangerous rebel who opposes the Torah and Jewish tradition. And this tension culminates after the first journey, leading to an important council in Jerusalem. So Paul discovers that there are some Jewish Christians in Antioch, and they're claiming that unless non-Jewish people become Jewish by practicing circumcision, the Sabbath, obeying the kosher food laws, that they can't become part of Jesus' family. But Paul and Barnabas, they radically disagree. And so they take the debate to a leadership council in Jerusalem. Now there, Peter, Paul, and James, the brother of Jesus, they all show from the scriptures and from their experience that God's plan was always to include the nations within his covenant people. So they write a letter requiring non-Jewish Christians to stop participating in pagan temple sacrifices, but they don't require them to adopt an ethnically Jewish identity or obey the laws in the Torah. Now, this decision was groundbreaking for the history of the Jesus movement. Jesus, he's the Jewish Messiah, but he's also the risen King of all nations. And so one's membership among his people is not based on ethnic identity or following the laws of the Torah. It's based simply on trusting Jesus and then following his teachings. And it's this multi-ethnic reality of the Jesus movement that leads us to the next theme Luke wants us to see in the missionary journeys, namely the clash of cultures between the early Christians and the Greek and Roman world. Luke records multiple clashes in Philippi, Athens, and Ephesus. Paul goes and announces Jesus as the revelation of the one true God and as the King of the world, who shows up all other gods and idols as powerless and futile. And his message is consistently viewed as subversive to the Roman way of life, and he gets accused of being a dangerous social revolutionary. These stories show how the multi-ethnic, monotheistic Jesus communities did not fit into any cultural boxes known to the Roman people. The ancient world had just never seen anything like them. And the Christians aroused more than just suspicion. Another theme Luke repeats is how Paul and the Christians are constantly being accused of rebellion, even treason against Caesar, the Roman emperor. People heard Paul correctly. He was announcing that there's another king, Jesus. And they also correctly saw that the Christian way of life was a challenge to many Roman cultural values. But every time Paul gets arrested and interrogated before Roman officials, they don't see any threat, and he's dismissed. These stories show us the paradox that the early church presented to the world. It was a Jewish messianic movement, but it was ethnically diverse, full of communities that treated men and women and rich and poor and slave and free all as equals. And they all gave their allegiance to King Jesus alone and no other god or king. And so their very existence, it turned upside down the core values of Roman culture, but the Christians posed no military threat because Jesus taught them to be people of peace. And so the only crime Paul and the Christians can be accused of is not conforming to the status quo. The book's final section returns the focus to Paul's witness spreading from Jerusalem to Rome. His final missionary journey ends back in Jerusalem, where his controversial reputation precedes him. He gets attacked by Jewish people who think that he's betrayed Israel, which attracts the attention of Roman soldiers who think Paul's a terrorist from Egypt starting a rebellion, and so he gets arrested. From here, Paul is put on trial, first before the Jewish leaders of the Sanhedrin in Jerusalem, but then before a series of Roman leaders in Caesarea. There's Governor Felix, who puts Paul off for the next governor, Festus, who eventually brings Paul before King Agrippa. He ends up in prison for years, even though at each trial the charges never stick to him, because all he's doing is announcing that his hope in the resurrection has been fulfilled in King Jesus. This is hardly a crime. But at this point, the Roman legal machine can't just turn him away, and so Paul ends up appealing to Rome's highest court. Now, you would think that all this prison time would be a setback for Paul, because his heartbeat is to be on the road starting new Jesus communities. But the Spirit orchestrates everything for good in this book, and so the imprisonment gives Paul time to have his most important apostolic letters written, and these become the way that his missionary legacy is carried on long after he dies. Eventually, Paul was transferred as a prisoner to Rome, and after a terrifying near-death voyage across the Mediterranean, Paul ends up in house arrest in Rome, awaiting his delayed trial. And so he's able to host, in quite a nice house, regular meetings that reach Jews and Gentiles. And the book's final words are about how Paul is announcing the kingdom of God and boldly teaching all about the Lord, Jesus, the Messiah, totally unhindered, all happening right under Caesar's nose in Rome. The unified work of Luke, Acts, it does so much more than give us a history of Jesus and the early church. He's showing how the kingdom of God came on earth as in heaven, through Jesus' life, death, and resurrection, through the coming of his Spirit, to empower the church to bear witness from Jerusalem to the ends of the earth. And as Luke has told this story, he's given us scores of examples of what faithfulness to King Jesus looks like. It looks like sharing the good news of the risen King Jesus in word and in action. It means forming diverse Jesus communities where people of all kinds come together, where they're treated equally and give allegiance to King Jesus and live by his teachings. And all of this is done by trusting in the power and the guidance of the Spirit to lead the way forward. And that's what the book of Acts is all about.
All right. So, takeaways from the second part of the book of Acts. So, in the beginning of Acts, this is where, you know how, like, when the temple, when Yahweh's Spirit is upon it, his fire will come down, correct? So then here Jesus says, wait for power. And so his disciples and followers were praying and fire came down. And so showing Yahweh's, yeah. So it's like Yahweh's Spirit is with them. And so now you see that Spirit just empowering and moving across, even though like it's a movement of you have peace with your neighbors, but it just made everyone lose their mind. But then like for some people, for a lot of people, it's like, wow, this is good news. And for some people, like we need to go against this. I love this part right here where it says like Paul boldly teach the kingdom of God in Rome under Caesar's nose. The nose. Look at that nose. Just under the nose.
What it all?
All right, let's get right into the readings. Daniel and the 12 prophets. Daniel and the 12 prophets. Can't catch me now. Daniel.
Oh,
Where we're at. Okay, yep, we did a lampstand and flying scrolls. So now, what are you fasting for? This 'cause it's in the mouse's way. Daniel and the 12 prophets. Who are you fasting for? All right. I prayed earlier today. We just love you, King Jesus. Reveal to us your goodness as we read this. Bill, like, thank you for your death and resurrection. For it's your hope and life that we have just flourishing now, even on earth. And as we are advancing to heaven on earth, we rule like you rule. And that's by dying giving. But in that dying giving, there's power and love and life and rulership. So we rule like you. Amen. Who are you fasting for? I lifted my eyes again and looked, and there are 4 chariots going out from between 2 mountains. The mountains were mountains of bronze. In the first chariot, the horses were red. In the second chariot, the horses were black. In the third chariot, the horses were white. And in the fourth chariot, the horses were dappled. Strong. I'm guessing that's a color? Never heard of dappled. Dappled. Just spots? Is that what dappled means? Oh, cool. I've learned that.
yeah, bro. Have you done it?
I mean, I don't do crafting things like you, so. Hey, Broheim. I was about to ask you some sort of stupid technical question about components or like, I was like, I don't need to.
Oh.
All right, you ready? So the horses were dappled, strong. I responded to Aid who speak with me. What are these, my lord? The Aid responded to me. These are the 4 winds of the heavens, leaving after staying by the Lord of all the earth. The one where the black horses are, they were leaving for the northern country. The white left after them. The dappled left for the southern country, so the strong left. When they sought to go so as to go about through the earth, he said, Go about through the earth. So they went about through the earth. He cried out to me and spoke to me, Look, the ones leaving for the northern country have settled my spirit in the northern country. Yahweh's message came to me. Receive silver and gold from the exile community, from Helda, Tobiah, and Jedaiah. You yourselves are to come on that day. You're to come to the house of Josiah, son of Zephaniah, when they come from Babylon. You're to receive silver and gold and make crowns and put one on the head of Joshua, son of Jehozadak, the senior priest, and say to him, Yahweh's armies has said this. There's the man whose name is Branch. From this place he'll branch out and build Yahweh's palace. He's the one who will build Yahweh's palace. He's the one who will put on majesty and sit and rule on his throne. A priest will be by his throne, and there will be peaceful counsel between the 2 of them. For Helem, Tobiah, Jedaiah, and Hen, son of Zephaniah, the crowns will be a memorial in Yahweh's palace. This the people will come and build in Yahweh's palace, and you'll acknowledge that Yahweh army sent me to you. It will happen if you really do listen to the voice of Yahweh your God. In the 4th year of King Darius, Yahweh's message came to Zechariah. On the 4th of the 9th month, Kislev, Bethel Serazer, and Regi Malalik and his men sent to supplicate Yahweh by saying by the priest at the house of Yahweh's armies and to the prophets, should I weep in the 5th month, consecrating myself, as I have done these how many years? A message from Yahweh's armies came to me. Say to all the people of the country and to the priests, when you fasted and lamented in the 5th and 7th, even these 70 years, did you really fast for me? And when you eat and drink, is it not you who eat and you who drink? Are not these the words that Yahweh proclaimed by means of the earlier prophets when Jerusalem was peopled and at ease, and the cities around it and the Negev and the lowland were peopled? Yahweh's message came to Zechariah. Yahweh armies has said this. Exercise truthful authority. Exercise commitment and compassion, each person with his brother. Don't oppress widow and orphan, alien and lowly. Don't plan evil, each person against his brother in his heart. But they refused to pay heed and presented a stubborn shoulder. They stopped their ears from listening. They made their mind concrete so as not to listen to the teaching and words that Yahweh army sent by his spirit by means of the earlier prophets. And great wrath came from Yahweh armies, as he called, but they didn't listen. So they'll call, and I shall not listen, Yahweh army said. And I blasted them away to all nations that they had not known. The country was desolate because them from anyone passing through and coming back. They made a country that was held in high regard into a desolation. So, is this after the exile? And so they are fasting, and they're like, where is the response? And he's like, who did you really fast for? Was it for me or for yourselves? And then here is Yahweh going, this is what true servants look like. Exercise true full authority. Exercise commitment, compassion, each person of the bride. Don't oppress widow and orphan, alien and lowly. Don't plan evil, each person against his brother in his hearts. But they refuse to pay heed to present a stubborn shoulder. And so here it's like still, even after the exile, compromises are compromises. No, not this Friday, but next Friday. Mm, um, Whereas I weighed 147 pounds when I was in my 20s. 3 or 4 years ago, I faced the fact that my weight had gone beyond 160 and decided to get my morning coffee cake, my afternoon scone, and my supper time piece of fruit pie. With vigilance, I can stick at 155, which I'm happy about in order to avoid becoming one of those men with a pot belly. On the other hand, in connection with Habakkuk, I mentioned our fast on behalf of the Darfur refugees when we start next week. It's designed as an act of identification with the Darfari. We're making it also the embodiment of a cry to God on their behalf. There are many reasons for fasting, as well as many levels of fasting. Here, some people raise a question about the way they've been weeping and dedicating themselves to God. Zechariah's response implies that these are observances to which they've been committed since the fall of Jerusalem 70 years previously. Zechariah gives various responses. In other words, the question stimulates a number of observations about such practices of self-discipline. His first response raises the question about who they were really fasting for. My discipline over what I eat is a purely selfish gesture, but there's nothing wrong with such discipline unless you're fooling yourselves or think you're fooling God about your reasons. Zechariah goes on to hint that their discipline was self-centered in another sense, by knowing the priorities that the prophets had regularly put before people who were serious in living for God rather than living for themselves. If you aren't making a priority of the principles expressed in this section's last paragraph, then it shows you're living for yourselves, not for God. Your discipline about eating and your lamenting the broken down state of Jerusalem becomes just part of a life lived for self and not for God. Why did the envoys raise the question? The date, the 4th year of Darius, is halfway through the 4 years it took to rebuild the temple, which Zechariah here describes as Yahweh's palace. Its restoration is progressing before people's eyes. Local opposition to the project has been overcome through appeal to Darius. It is time for weeping and fasting. Is it time for weeping and fasting over? The halfway nature of the community situation is also suggested by the vision occupying the first paragraph of the section, and by Yahweh's message in the second paragraph. The vision has some parallels with Zechariah's first vision, but its points is different. It focuses more on the chariots than on the horses that power them. The mountains stand for the place where Yahweh armies lives, and the chariots are Yahweh's means of implementing his purpose in the world. One chariot goes south because Egypt had also been a destination for Judahites fleeing when the Babylonians invaded. But 2 chariots go north toward Babylon, the main location of the exiles. We don't hear what happens to the first chariot. Might it be waiting to leave, depending on what people do? The idea of settling Yahweh's spirit in Babylon is perhaps explained in the next paragraph about gifts that have come from the exile community in Babylon. Yahweh is inspiring people in Babylon to be involved in the temple project and to send gifts in connection with it. The gifts are to be made into crowns. One is explicitly for Zerubbabel as the current representative of the Davidic tree. The other is presumed for Joshua as the senior priest. But Zechariah doesn't explicitly make this point, which fits with the message implication that Zerubbabel is the person with authority in the city. Joshua has authority in connection with worship, though the two of them are to work together harmoniously. Even Zerubbabel still isn't called king. Only Darius has that title. We don't know anything else about the man who brings the gifts. The point about them is that they're a kind of first fruits or advance guard, heralding the arrival of many more Judahites who are yet going to return from Babylon to get involved in the restoration of Jerusalem. Zechariah's words are thus an encouragement to the people in Jerusalem, but also a challenge and encouragement to the rest of the Judahites in Babylon if the message reaches them. What's up, friend? Ready for last section? Okay. What's this? Oh. See, got a response. Make me a blessing. Zechariah chapter 8, verse 1 to 23. Make me a blessing. A message from Yahweh armies came to me. Yahweh armies has said this. Oh. A message from Yahweh armies came to me. Yahweh's army has said this. I feel a great passion for Zion. I'm going to ask you to super hydrate when we're done reading before starting, okay? A message from Yahweh armies came to me. Yahweh's army has said this. I feel a great passion for Zion. I feel a fierce passion for it. Yahweh has said this. On return to Zion, I shall dwell in the midst of Jerusalem. Jerusalem will be called Truthful City. Oh, you always got to love the last part of these prophets. Because it's like when like heaven and earth is realized, you know? Yahweh's army has said this. I feel a great passion for Zion. I feel a fierce passion for it. Yahweh has said this. On return to Zion, I shall dwell in the midst of Jerusalem. Jerusalem will be called Truthful City, and the mountain of Yahweh army, sacred mountain. Yahweh armies has said this. There will yet be old men and women in Jerusalem squares, each with his cane in his hand, because of the abundance of his days. The city squares will be full of boys and girls playing in its squares. Yahweh army has said this, because it will be fantastic in the eyes of the remains of his people in those days. Will it be fantastic in my eyes? A declaration of Yahweh armies. Yahweh armies has said this. Here am I. I'm going to deliver my people from the eastern country and from the western country, and bring them, and they'll dwell in the midst of Jerusalem. They'll be people for me, and I shall be God for them, in truth and full faithfulness. Yahweh's army has said this. Your hands are to be strong, you who are listening to these words in these days. From the mouth of the prophets who lived in the day when the house of Yahweh armies was founded, for building the palace, because before those days there were no wages for a human being, and there were no wages for an animal. For anyone going out or coming in, there was no peace from the adversary. I have set human beings one against his neighbor. But now I'm acting toward these remains as in earlier days, a declaration of Yahweh armies. Because the sowing is in peace. The vine will give its fruit, the earth will give its produce, the heavens will give their due. I shall let the remains of the people possess all these things. As you became a belittling among the nations, Judah's household and Israel's household, so I shall deliver you, and you become a blessing. Don't be afraid. Your hands are to be strong. Because Yahweh armies has said this. As I schemed to do evil to you when your ancestors infuriated me, Yahweh's army said, and didn't relent, so I have again schemed in these days to do good to Jerusalem and to Judah's household. Don't be afraid. These are things that you're to do. Speak the truth to each his neighbor. Implement truthfulness and judgment that makes for peace in your gates. Don't decide in your heart, each person, on evil against his neighbor. Don't give yourself to a false oath, because all these are things that I repudiate. Yahweh's declaration. The message of Yahweh armies came to me. Yahweh armies has said this. The fast of the 4th and the fast of the 5th and the fast of the 7th and the fast of the 10th will become for Judah's household celebration and rejoicing, good festival occasions. So give yourself to truthfulness and peace. Yahweh armies has said this. Peoples and residents of many cities will yet come, and the inhabitants of one will go to one another, saying, Let's go to supplicate Yahweh and seek help from Yahweh armies. I myself intend to go, yes. Many people will come, powerful nations, to seek help from Yahweh armies in Jerusalem and to supplicate Yahweh. Yahweh armies has said this. In those days when 10 people from all the nations' tongues will take hold. They'll take hold of the hem of a Judahite individual's coat, saying, We want to go with you because we've heard that God is with you. So good, because like, as clingers of King Jesus, we're considered part of the fold, or part of the Israelite blessing. And so we now become people of peace. And there are times, there's awesome stories where people are just like amazed about what Yahweh is doing with people. And so we can be part of that. We can be part of the peace where people are amazed. From time to time, are you ready? From time to time, our congregation or its church council discusses ways of attracting more people to church. When we talk about getting children into Sunday school and thereby drawing their parents, or having more barbecues, or having livelier music. On the other hand, there are aspects of our church that might put some people off, such as too much reading of the Bible or too many prayers that are the same every week. Yet, these are also among the features that drew the present members of the church. And in those discussions, some will then draw attention to other factors that originally drew these present members: the warmth to the welcome, the sense of fellowship, the reality of the spiritual life. The ending of the first half of Zechariah fits with that last dynamic. While both Old Testament and New assume that God reaches the world through his people, it's sometimes said that the Old Testament approach is centripetal, while the New Testament is centrifugal. I have no idea what those words means. Here we go. Okay, so you ready? So it's going to help us understand. Centripetal force is the force that keeps an object moving in a circular path, pulling it towards the center of the circle. Centrifugal force is the perceived outward force experienced by the object due to inertia, pushing it away from the center of the circle. Oh.
ज्यादातर स्टूडेंट्स को सेंट्रीपिटल और सेंट्रीफ्यूगल फोर्स में कंफ्यूजन रहता है। आइए इसको समझते हैं। लेट अस टेक कि हमारा एक रोटेटिंग
video.
और इस पे ये ब्लॉक हमारा रखा हुआ है। जो पर्सन ग्राउंड पे खड़ा है वो कहेगा कि ये ब्लॉक सेंट्रीपिटल फोर्स की वजह से सर्कुलर मोशन में मूव कर रहा है। Therefore, centripetal force is equal to mass into centripetal acceleration, which is m into v square by r. और यहाँ पे centripetal force friction provide कर रहा है.
That was like a different. It was hard to understand.
First, look at this activity.
All right, let me just look at an image then. Here we go. Okay, so centripetal force. Swinging a ball on the string or twirling a lasso. So stuff gets drawn, like you're pulling and it gets pushed out. Centripetal force. Turning a car. Center of rotation. I see, so centripetal force is going inward, while centripetal force is like when you spin a ball, like force go out. Guessing that's what that means? It's time I said the Old Testament approach is centripetal, while New Testament is centrifugal. That is, in the Old Testament, God's plan is to draw the nations into Israel. Okay, so that's centripetal. It's drawing in. While the New Testament, God's plan is to send his people out to nations, and centrifugal is out. Does that make sense? It's an oversimplification. God uses Israel's exile to spread knowledge of the Torah around the world. In 1 Corinthians 14 assumes that people will be drawn into the church by seeing God active there. They come into worship because they perceive that God is really among you. It sounds almost like an echo of the last line of the section of Zechariah, but there's something in the contrast. Zechariah knows that it's God's business to reveal himself to the world, thus draw the world, and that he'll do so through his people. They need to be wary of staying in the way of that process, as they can easily do by the kind of activities Zechariah mentions them. But you good? You ready? Okay. They need to be wary of staying in the way of that process, as they can easily do by the kind of activities Zechariah mentions that embodies faithlessness to one another or to God. It's God who will bring about his self-revelation through the wonder of his restoring Jerusalem. Zechariah here describes it in terms of the city's transformation and the fulfillment of his creation purpose for humanity, as they're able to live full human lives from childhood to old age. Yahweh is going to draw Judahites scattered over the world to come to live in Jerusalem again. He's going to dwell in their midst. He'll realize his intent that the feeble remains of Israel should be his people and that he should be their God. They're going to be characterized by truth and faithfulness in relation to him and to one another. As a whole, it's a crazy vision, God admits, but its craziness doesn't mean it won't happen, because he's passionate about Jerusalem. And whereas he had made Jerusalem a belittling, that as people will pray, may you be put down like Jerusalem, his action will turn into a blessing. That is, people will pray, may God bless our city the way he has blessed Jerusalem. They don't have to burden themselves with responsibility for making God's self-revelation happen. But as well as not standing in its way, they're responsible for living in light of God's promises. God won't rebuild the city by doing a miracle that they simply watch. It won't be like the Red Sea event when God defeated the Egyptian army on his own. In light of God's promises, their job is to get on with the project of building Yahweh a palace in the assurance that it can be completed. They have encouragement beyond Yahweh's simple promises, as Haggai has been able to note. Since they began the building project, both the economic situation and security situation are better than they were. It's no coincidence. Oh, and by the way, to go back to the question with which chapter 7 started, you can give up your fasting because celebration is going to be more appropriate. Remember that when he says, is it right for the friends of the bridegroom to fast when they're getting married? It's like that that wedding celebration. Yahweh is here. Let's celebrate. Those of us who are Gentiles come to be followers of Jesus by grabbing hold of the coat of Jews such as Peter and Paul. And Yahweh's promise to Zechariah thus keeps finding fulfillment. All right, friend, we talked enough. We can start. And we can be on until we got to bounce. Ooh. A lot to this.
Ha! Ha! Hey! Yeah! Yeah! Freeze! Ha! Come on! Ha! Come on! Oh! Oh! Yeah! Come on! Yeah! Ha-ha!
Why not? You want to give me anything new?
Hey! Ha! Hey! Yeah! Yeah! Freeze! Fire! Huh. Huh. Freeze! Fire! Yeah! Yeah! Come on! Yeah! Oh. Come on! Yeah. Oh. Ha! Oh. Ha-ha! Freeze! Fire!
Ha! Freeze! Just fire! Ha! Yeah! Ha! Come on! There! Yeah! Come on! Yeah! Ha! Yeah! Ha! Yeah! Yeah! Ha ha! Ha! Yeah! Ha! Hey! Yeah! Yeah! Oh! Ha ha! There! There! Oh! Ha! So long! Ha! So long! Freeze! Fire! Come on! Yeah! Come on! Come on! Ha! Come on! Ha! So long! Ha! Back off! Freeze! Fire! Oh! Yeah! There! Fine! Yeah! Ha ha!
I brought you Sora. We had a bargain.
What's the matter, Neku? No way!
Hey, that wasn't the deal. You said you wouldn't hurt it.
Don't! Neku! They're too dangerous! What? Why am I so sleepy?
Am I in Traverse Town? My clothes have changed. Sora! Where are you? I remember we fell over. Overboard after Ursula attacked, and then I think we opened a keyhole. So, this must be one of the sleeping worlds. My Keyblade. It just sort of popped into my hand when I needed it most. Right. It started.
Wow. Where's your portal?
Huh?
It takes something special to jump between grounds without one.
Who are you?
My name is Joshua.
What do you mean, portal?
Are we just skipping past the part where you tell me your name?
Riku.
Hello there, Riku. Portals are like gateways that link up our worlds. Apparently, the world you and I are standing in right now, well, there are 2 copies of it. It's been sort of split in half. Portals are what let folks like us cross between them.
There can be 2 of a world?
The world is as many things as people need it to be. The concept that we all live in the same world, that's just in our heads. Surely you knew. I'll tell you what, Riku. I've got a little errand for you.
Sorry. I don't trust you.
At least hear me out. I'm looking for a girl named Rhyme. She's the key to the portal. And on the other side, who knows who we'll find? Maybe even your friend, Sora.
You know Sora?
Now I have your attention. But unfortunately, I don't know where he is. If he's not in this version of the world, I can only assume he has to be in the other one. Simple logic.
Okay. You want to find Rhyme? You got it. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Huh. You're done. Yeah. Fire! Yeah. 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 You're done. You're done. Huh. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 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 Ha. Huh. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. Ha. Sorry.
Oh. I meant to
Joshua,
fight those guys.
why don't
fight
they ever
those guys.
attack you?
They being Dream Eaters? They won't go after you unless you're a dreamer. Which is funny because I've got plenty of dreams.
But they're definitely attacking me. So, you think I'm a dreamer?
Every human being is a dreamer. I had a friend once who said he never dreamed of anything, but it turned out that his were the most powerful dreams of all. You sort of remind me of him. Why don't we give your dreams shape? In this world, they take form as Dream Eaters, which can become great allies.
I mean, it's going to be good for him. You know, I guess having a spirit is better than a spirit name. Alright, Broheim. You want to name this one? Okay. You don't want to give it cryptic. You don't want to give like these cryptic. Here you go. I'll just leave that for you. Ooh. His name will be Bat. You want me to do with the cryptic words? All right. How about this? Oh! Just that symbol. Okay.
I got you now, Joshua! Once I take you down, yo, me and Rhymes is going back where we belong.
Beat. How many times do we have to go over this? You've been tricked by that rogue in the black coat.
What? Black coats? But that's...
I'm telling you, you've made a friend of our enemy.
Just can it, alright? Your inverse psychiatry ain't gonna work. Let's go! 3 meters! What? Ugh, man, not cool.
Surrogate each link with spirits in their own unique way. When spirits completely fill up spirits link gauge, and it will briefly lend you with power. Your charges. Tutorial over!
You know what? Forget it. This is stale, yo.
Playing the tough guy 24/7? I'd be worn out too.
I just want to protect the one person who matters.
I know the feeling. Why am I suddenly so sleepy?
Long ago, in the age of fairy tales, the world was filled with light, a gift many believed from an unseen power known as Kingdom Hearts. You see, Kingdom Hearts was protected by its counterpart, the Keyblade, so that none could ever lay hands on its mystery.
I'm late! I'm late!
But in time, the world was overrun by legions who wanted the light all for themselves, and the first shadows were cast upon the land. These warriors crafted Keyblades in the image of the original Keyblade, and waged a great war over Kingdom Hearts. We call this the Keyblade War. But though the war extinguished all light from the world, the darkness could not reach the brightness inside every child's heart. With that light, the world was remade as we know it today, with countless smaller worlds shining like stars in the sky. As for the real Keyblade, it did not survive the battle. The two elements that created it, one of darkness and one of light, shattered into 20 pieces 7 of light, 13 of darkness. And as for the source of all light, the one true Kingdom Hearts, it was swallowed by the darkness, never to be seen again. As long as it remains there, even the brightest world will have its dark corners. After all, light begets darkness, and darkness is drawn to light. For this reason, some decided to use the Keyblade, a weapon designed to conquer the light, to defend the light instead. These were the first heroes of the Keyblade.
Having it said, just read it, like, just tell you, helps a lot.
Huh? Where is he? Huh? Huh? They're both gone. Before I fell asleep, Neku said that he and that creep in the coat had a deal. But what was the deal? Are the two of them in league? That can't be right. We never even found Neku's partner. I guess I should just take a look around.
Ha! There! Ha-ha! So long! Ha-ha! Ha! So long!
The Guardian Leviosa.
Ha! Oh! So long! There! There! Ha!
Ha! Yeah! Back off! Freeze! Just fine! Yeah! There! Ha-ha! Fine! Yeah! Freeze! Back off! Ha! Ha-ha! Let's go! Freeze! Fine! Yeah! Back off! Hey! Yeah! Ha! Let's go! Yeah! Freeze! Ha! Yeah! Yeah! Fine! Yeah! Back off! Ha-ha! Freeze! Fine! Yeah! Fine! Yeah! Ha-ha! Freeze! Fine! Hey! Yeah! Ha-ha! There! Come on! Come on! Come on! Oh. So long! Hey! Yeah! Oh. There! Ha! Ha! Oh! Yeah! Ha! Fine! Oh! Come on! Come on! Come on! Oh! Yeah! Back off! Freeze! Fine! Ha! So long! There! Freeze! Fine! Yeah!
Saboteur.
Oh! Ha! Oh! Come on! Yeah! Yeah! Come on! Oh! So long! Fine! Yeah! Ha ha! Ha! Yeah! Heal! Yeah! Together!
These are so funny looking.
Yeah! Yeah! Ha! Fine! Ha!
Oh, he's my friend. That is funny.
Heal. Yeah. Hey. Ha.
Oh, he's not playing.
Come on.
There we go. Oh, why?
Oh. Yeah. Fine. Ha. Ha ha. There. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Come on. Ha. Oh. Oh. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. Ha. So long. Ha ha. Oh. Ha ha. Yeah. Heal. Fine. Yeah. Yeah. Ha. Oh. There. Oh. Ha ha. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Hi. Back off. Heal. Fire. Yeah. 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 Fire. Yeah. Back off. Heal. Ha! Yeah! Ha! Hey! Yeah! Ha! 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 There! Yeah! Ha! Ha! There! Ha! There! Heal! Yeah! Ha! 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 There! Hey! Hey! Ha! So long! Fine! Yeah! Oh! Yeah! Oh! Ha! Oh! Ha! Ha ha! Yeah! Come on! Yeah! Come on! Yeah! Yeah! Ha ha!
Hear that, Char?
Yeah! Ha! Ha! Yeah! Yeah! Ha! So long! Ha! There! Ha! There! Yeah! There!
My minutes, my friend.